Unit 7. Paper 4, Listening Part 3. You will hear an interview with Daphne Lambert, who went on an unusual kind of cycling trip in Spain. For questions 1 to 5, choose the answer A, B, C or D, which fits best according to what you hear.
Daphne, where did your idea for the charity cycle ride originate?
Actually, as far as the cycling's concerned, for a short period when I was 13, I cycled to school, but since then, over the course of 30 years, I'd had no interest in bikes whatsoever. But browsing through a Soil Association magazine, I read about the Great Organic Bike Ride and decided to participate. Why? Well, it was a personal challenge, but above all, it was a way of raising money for the Soil Association, which needs funds to help increase the amount of homegrown organic food. At present, just 3% of UK farmland is organic. 70% of our organic food has to be imported. I thought participating in the bike ride would give me the opportunity to tell more and more people about the importance of organic food production. And I thought, cycling couldn't be that hard, could it?
Well, tell us a little bit about the ride itself.
Well, the ride took place in May, and the participants rode from Bilbao to Barcelona. Helen Simmons from the Soil Association, who also participated, brilliantly organised the UK end of the trip. But once in Spain, a specialist tour operator took over. They focused mainly on walking and biking holidays. Anyway, the participants met for the first time in the P&O ferry departure terminal at Portsmouth. Everyone kept their thoughts to themselves, but we were all thinking the same thing. Did I train enough? Can I do it?
Had you actually done a lot of training?
Well, it certainly felt as if I had. At the time, I was preoccupied with saddle soreness. I'd done one serious practice ride in the UK, which resulted in an excruciatingly painful behind. It had actually prevented me from climbing onto the bike the following day. And now I was about to ride for 5 consecutive days.
So what happened when you arrived in Bilbao?
We arrived early in the morning, raring to go, and we were soon able to try out our bikes for the first time. Apart from a minor panic attack, when I realised that the gears were different from the model I owned, I became quite attached to the new bike. The next morning, we set out on a quiet cycle path to Vitoria, where we were greeted by the mayor, who provided us with a police escort through the town. Then we were really on our way. The route was through delightful countryside with pretty villages. The scenery seduced us into thinking that this was not going to be difficult at all. So, when we arrived at the first long, steep hill, I realised that no training had prepared me for this. It rose to a summit of 1,100 metres. After lunch, the descent was steep and dangerous, but we then cycled through vineyards.
Presumably, you were able to rest in the evenings.
Oh, thankfully, yes. We spent the second night in a hostel opposite a fairy tale castle. In the evening mist, you half expected Rapunzel to let down her hair from the one and only window at the top of the tower. But we ran into all sorts of problems after that, from backache, knee ache, sunstroke, fatigue, punctures, low spirits and wrong turnings. We all suffered in one way or another. The last day was not particularly long, but hard work. I had neither eaten well the evening before nor slept well during the night, so the morning ride was quite a struggle. But Carlos, our Spanish guide, had laid out a picnic using local organic ingredients. The food revived me. There was one more gruelling stretch before we eventually reached our destination. Oh, a feeling of jubilation began to creep over us as we cycled along with our goal firmly in sight.
And did you all make it?
We certainly did, and we achieved our aim. Both companies and individuals generously supported the Great Organic Bike Ride. This enabled us to raise over £20,000 for the Soil Association. The aching limbs and patches of sunburn faded, leaving only pleasant memories and the resolve to one day get back into the saddle.
And is that likely to happen?
It may well be next year.
Aha.
The Soil Association are thinking about another bike ride, this time in Britain.
Now rewind and listen to part